Hi, it's Mr. Peterson. Have you ever wondered how reporters on TV or writers in magazines get their interesting stories? Well, many times it's because of interviews with people. Interviewing is a great way to learn new things from an expert and share them with others. Today, we're going to learn how to conduct an interview and discover a bit about Michigan's first language, Anishinaabemowin, from an expert. Today, we'll be talking with my friend Tana, who is not only a teacher on Read, Write, Roar, but is also a speaker of Anishinaabemowin. Before you start interviewing someone, you need to know what you want to learn. Think about the person you're interviewing and what makes them special. You want to choose someone who has interesting stories or important knowledge to share. A person who is an expert in a topic you'd like to know more about. I set up an interview with Tana because she is an expert in the area I want to know more about. Write down some questions you want to ask. Good questions are open-ended, which means they can't be answered with just a yes or a no. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like Michigan?" you could ask, "What do you like most about Michigan?" When it's time for the interview, first you will see that I introduce myself and thank the person for their time. You'll then hear my explanation of why I chose to interview them and what I hope to learn. The next part of interviewing is asking questions and listening carefully to what the person says. Sometimes their answers will lead to new questions that hadn't been thought of before the interview. We call these follow-up questions. While the person is talking, interviewers take notes or, with permission, record the interview. This is important because it helps you remember what they said later. Finally, after all of the questions are asked, thank the person again for their time. It is also nice to follow up with a thank you note or email. Now that you know the steps to conduct an interview, follow along with my interview to see it come alive. Hi, Tana. Thank you so much for taking the time for our interview today.
Absolutely. Ani Bojo, Tana Hoffman and Dijnakas, Makwandonim, Bawating in Donjaba. I'm so happy to be here. So that was a traditional Anishinaabe greeting. And I said, hello, my name is, and then I also said that I am Bear Clan and I'm from Bawating, which is the original name for Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Wonderful. Well, I have a few questions if that's okay if I could ask you.
You bet.
Can you tell us how to pronounce the language?
Yeah, so we say Anishinaabemowin. So Anishinaabe is the part that talks about the people, and the Moen part is that talks about that's the language we speak. Anishinaabemowin.
Wow, and so how long has this language been spoken?
My goodness. So from time immemorial. It's one of the things that we kind of say from the beginning of time. So what's really neat about Anishinaabe perspective and culture is that we don't have the same perspective or understanding of time that others might, as in a colonial way, that there are only 12 months in a year and there are only so many set days in that month. And so we believe that originally that we were set down by that eastern seashore over by New York at the beginning of the St. Lawrence River. And so through the years we migrated, we were given a prophecy and then migrated west and then ended up in Michigan and then also Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and also up in Canada.
Well, I'm kind of excited. Can you teach us a few words or phrases from Anishinaabemowin?
I can. So the first one is Ani, and that is our informal way of saying, "What's up? Hi, friend. How you doing?" So Ani.
Ani.
Perfect. Now the next one that you would want to say like to your elders or in a ceremonial setting might be Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Miigwech.
Miigwech.
Miigwech. Now, miigwech is actually a new word. That is not from our original language or it was a word that was actually created in the time of the fur trade. What it really means, or at least some of my knowledge keepers and language keepers have said, is that it really means is that what you have traded is enough. So everybody knew that you were grateful. Ni miigwecha wendam. That's what we say grateful for now. I am grateful. Ni miigwecha wendam. for the things that, or the people in your life. So,
Oh, and I'm grateful that you're sharing this with us. I have one more question for you, okay? Are there words we regularly use in English that have their roots in this language?
you would not believe how many words in Michigan there are, like the word Michigan to begin with. Okay, so let's start there. So Michigan really started as Gitchagame, or Kitchagame, which was big lake. And now I want you to close your eyes and picture this really long game of telephone. Remember where you're like whispering into your neighbor's ear a word, and then the next person, and then the next person, and then the next person has to listen and listen and listen and see if they come up with the same thing at the end. That's what happened to some of our words. So Gitchagame became Michigan.
Tana, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. It shared so much about this beautiful language. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Now, and miigwech for having me.
Did you enjoy that interview? Did you learn something new? I learned to say what's up, ani. And I learned that the names of so many places around us have their roots in the Anishinaabemowin language. Remember, when you conduct an interview, that you should be curious, listen carefully, and always show respect to the person you're interviewing. Oh, and don't forget to share what you've learned about your topic with your friends and family so they can learn something too. Happy interviewing!